Hello and welcome to another edition of See You Next Time. This one's a special one for the transfer window. Today with myself, Ed One. It's of course old Father Time himself, Billy Backtrack, who's here to give us his infinite wisdom gained over 1,000 years of life, and also we have our very own George Clooney alike. Well, with I don't know. Does George Clooney have a beard? I can't remember actually. Who is it that's got a beard that's a film star? I should have named. Anyway, he's still waiting for this film to come out, which, like all of us, of course. Is it going to be
Mhm.
on at the cinemas, or are we going to have to go to get it out on video? Like,
On set, when I spoke to the director, I did actually ask him that, and he said Australia was, from what he knew, the only country going to get a theatrical release.
oh
So the
Jesus.
rest of it's gone on to Netflix.
So it's that bad.
All right.
It's that bad. Only one country gets a theatrical release, and it's Australia. Oh my god! So I wouldn't know.
Netflix
Don't
is
hold
good
your
though.
breath. Yeah, at least watch. Oh, and we're joined by Seamus the Luckend turned up as well. Wow, good timing, Seamus. We haven't even started yet, so you're just in time for the start. Is here to end any luck we've got. Yeah, with his. He's probably going to tell us about his how lucky he is on Fantasy Premier League because he was all set to win it this week until about 70 odd minutes in, was it? What the hell?
Is that a kite?
What the, is he outside flying kites now? Is that what it is? He is.
Yes.
He's outside selling
Yes,
his
I have.
kite. That's what he's doing. It's probably better.
Riding
It's
on
much
his-
better looking than him, to be fair. That thing, the bobbin. Anyway, should we start then? So, well,
right.
I was going to ask the question who's won the transfer window, but I don't think we need to ask that, do we, Bill? Because I'm sure you'll tell us straight
No.
away. It was, of course, the mighty Everton who walked away with the
We've done all
trophy.
right. We've done all right actually. I thought we'd done okay. We got quite a few in. Could have done with another couple, of course, but you can't have everything, and Rome wasn't built in a day. But we've done okay. We're still missing a few players, but that'll come over the next couple of windows, and it's a rebuilding job. And I'm very happy with the business we got done actually.
Yeah, we know that. You're still gloating about Jack Grealish, aren't you?
Well, the man's done well, isn't he? The man's a magician. And now we've got mail incoming,
Well, he
so
made your money
it's going to
disappear.
be
Yeah.
it's all good.
How do all the Everton fans on the site know who he is? They were all full of how great he
It's
is
called
before he
YouTube.
signed. I've never even.
It's called
I mean,
YouTube.
this is me who watches thousands of hours of football every week. What first time ever I've thought, God, I don't actually know who he is. That's the first time I can remember it. You know, when one of the big clubs has signed a player, I literally had
Yeah,
never even heard of. You know, for a first team player, like I was like,
I'd never heard of him. No.
yeah, I was wondering how they all knew. They were all like, "Oh, he's great. He's going to be fantastic. He's exactly what we're in." I'm like, "How do they know
YouTube.
him?" Yeah. Or is he good?
YouTube.
Or
That's
is he
it.
good on? Is he good on Football Manager? Maybe he's a wunderkind on there or something. Oh, it's Seamus back.
He probably flies kites,
Yeah,
and you'd know about him then, wouldn't he? Our kite flyer.
yeah. Well, only if he'd sold him
No,
a kite.
like Chris said. No, like Chris said, there's a difference between knowing about a player and actually never hearing about it.
Yeah,
Like we never heard about it. There's a difference. Like someone could be a blast from the past, someone you heard 2 years ago and then just disappeared. Okay, fair enough, that's all right. But I, for the first time in my life, like Chris said, it was the first time I had to Google a player to know what position he was,
yeah.
everything, and then no, but it's actually interesting, huh? When your club signs a player like who you have literally no idea about.
It's very odd. It's like who? Because they were talking about Roll, and I just thought, and my first thought was Danny Rowe, why would he be joining Everton? He's, I didn't even know as he left Sheffield Wednesday, must have done. You know what I mean? I was thinking, when all that turnout, all their mess in the summer, I never even thought of this guy Merlin. Never heard of him, so. But what about you, Seamus? You think Man United have won the transfer window?
Forget about transfer. You can see the Kite.
I can't see a kite there, mate. But all I can see is grey cloud. Oh God! Oh God! That's it. Someone to complain about the noise.
Billy's agent's calling him.
Yeah. Say,
Yeah.
what are you doing on this shite? Get on strike. Get on strike.
That
We'll
was
get you a
Merlin.
move to a better podcast. Get you a
It
move
was
to a
Merlin
better
that
podcast.
on the phone to me, saying, "What are you talking about? You'd never heard of me. I'm very famous. It's Freeberg."
Yeah, I've been in hundreds of films over the years. How can you not know who I am?
Yeah, but
Film roll.
the only
Oh.
Berlin,
Oh,
the only Berlin I heard was a chocolate. That's it.
I didn't understand the word Seamus was saying. Then he's out of
Something
breath.
about chocolate.
Yeah, that's all I heard as well. He's walking at the same time, and it's a bit of a struggle.
Listen, let's talk about Liverpool's transfer window.
It's very
who I
quiet
thought
though. Not a lot to talk about
probably
though,
had
is there?
probably had the best one out the lot. But I'd just like to talk about what happened with Mark Gay, who I thought got shafted by Crystal Palace. Everything was agreed. He'd done everything he could. He played for Palace in the league. He played for Palace in the European games. Looked to have behaved impeccably, and got shafted at the last minute by Steve Parish and Oliver Glasner. And it makes you think that what Isaac done and what Wissa done might have been the right road to go down, because which I thought was terrible, by the way. Well, the way they went about it, going on strike and all that, I didn't like that, I must admit. But when you see what happened to someone who behaved impeccably like Mark Gay, you wonder, did they do the right thing by doing what they done? Because I thought it was a terrible state of affairs what Palace done to Mark Gay. But that's just my take on it.
Apparently, he was even putting the kibosh on transfers they did have lined up. That Glasner. Yeah, because the Igor they had lined up, one of the replacements, the one on loan. He's basically told him, you're not gonna. I don't want you. So when he was ready to sign, so he ended up signing for someone else. I've forgotten who he signed for now. But it was such a,
West Ham?
I think so. Yeah, it was West Ham, wasn't it? And people saying, why would he sign for them over Palace? Because they actually wanted him. That was the difference. Glasner has Glasner. You know what? I know you said Parish behaved abominably. I think he just made a mess of things. He's too weak. And they're in such a financial mess. I don't think he could afford to get another manager in. So he had to back, and he couldn't not back Glasner after all he's done for the club, won them their first trophy. I think he was in an absolutely terrible position, and I really don't like Parish. But I think this is all on Glasner. Everything. He was the one that was causing the problems and that. And it's not the first time as well, apparently. You know what I mean? This is like, there's a few stories coming out about his time at, was it Frankfurt he was at before? Yeah, about how he was the same there, threw his toys out of the pram every 5 minutes and stuff. That's why he was let go. Not because they didn't rate him or anything. They loved him there as a manager, but he was just an absolute child and kept being so. When they can't afford to just hold on to players like Palace. I mean, because I was saying to you before while we were waiting for the other two to join, wasn't I? I was saying that they've just had their main investor pull out. John Texter. He pulled out in the summer. They're in a financial mess because of it. They're trying to sort things out. They don't have money to spend. They needed that income. Paris even came out and confirmed it at the start. At the start of the window, he said, "We don't want to sell Guay, but we have to. We simply cannot afford to turn down the money for him. It is that simple. We cannot afford it. We need that money. We can't afford to let him go for free." But obviously, he was stuck in a position where he couldn't say no to Glasner. Because could you imagine the fans rioting? First manager ever to win them a major trophy, and then Paris says, "Go on, you'll have to go on then, hand in your notice." Then can you imagine it? They'd have just turned on Paris. He was in an untenable position, you know what I mean? And his chairmanship would have been impossible to continue with. So I actually have a bit of sympathy with him, even though I don't like him.
What did you think,
Well,
Rob, of the window for Liverpool was?
I was very happy with the players that we brought in. I think we got pretty much all the areas that we needed.
Have you got
Guahi
any
would have been
tissues left?
nice.
Yeah.
Guahi would have been nice at the end to get. Obviously, they'll lose him for peanuts in January or free at the end of the season. So if that's the way they want to do it, then that's fine. At the end of the day, whatever. I think we'll be okay without him. The only thing that worries me is if Canate or Gomez picks up an injury and we're real tight at the back. But other than that, we've kind of replaced the players that we needed through that left. I think we did pretty well in terms of sales as well. We got some good money for some of the players that either didn't want to be there or we kind of forced out, and found the other ones loans. So like Samikas, Harvey Elliott, players like that. But I'm really excited to watch Isaac play or Isak play. Keep saying Isaac. Um, I'm really excited for him. I heard so much about Wirtz in the last year or so without seeing much. I know it's still early days, and I'm in no way writing him off. He hasn't played the greatest so far from what I've seen, but I do think in time he'll be a really good player for us. But yeah, no, I'm very very happy. He would have been the cherry on top of the cake, but unfortunately we still got the cake anyway, so I'm quite happy with that.
I like that, Rob. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you can't. If you're complaining now as a Liverpool fan, then you need to, you really need to go back and look at what happened when Hodgson was in charge, and we were bringing in people like,
Christian Poulsen,
yeah, that's it. You only have to say that one name. Uh-oh.
Milan Jovanovic, and the left back from I forgot his name, Paul Konchesky. Yeah.
Hang on, you don't have to go back to Roy Hodgson. Just remember that Jurgen Klopp has given Stephen Colbert as an independence, right?
Yeah,
On loan.
Stephen Coker, yeah, of course, yeah, when he signed him on loan, even though everyone knew he was shit. But that was because he listened to his assistant. In fact, he was so bad a defender, he was bringing him on as a striker.
This is one of the first windows that we've really gone hard. I know in previous years with Klopp, he obviously was very loyal to his players. We did spend when there was a player that we did want to bring in. Like the money was there. There was some high profile signings, but to get this many done in one window and the amount that we spent, I know that was obviously backed up by sales as well. But yeah, no, best window I've ever seen in my time.
Liverpool tend to do that. They tend to leave it a couple of years and then have a big blowout spending, like they've done with Van Dijk and Alisson and who else they bought, and then left it for a couple of years and then another big load of signings. That seems to be the strategy.
No, that was purely because Klopp wouldn't get rid of players unless he he was 100% certain they were done and needed to be replaced. He wouldn't get rid of, he was very loyal to the players. Once he got his players in, because he'd fought so hard to get them as well, because he'd go and speak to them, you know what I mean? He convinced them to join Liverpool and stuff like that. He became very attached to them mentally as well. They were emotionally part of his. He'd gone and recruited them, basically. It becomes difficult to then say, well, you're done now. Yeah, I've had me 2-3 years out of you. You know what I mean? That's why so many, like Origi was still around long after he was around until his contract ran out. Same with Oxlade-Chamberlain, when really they should have been moved on a couple of years, earlier, And it's just the way he is. He would not let. The money was always there if he wanted to go out and spend big, but he just once he had his players in, he didn't like to go, and so it was just like he'd go out and spend to add to it, you know what I mean, like he did with Kite and that, but it didn't always work out, obviously, with Kite in particular. So, but
Who else do we think done well in this window besides, we talked about Liverpool and Everton a bit.
Man
Who
United.
else do you think has done really well?
Man United, I think, with Cunha and Mbeumo.
And getting a
Not
lot of
And,
players off the books.
yeah, getting
Yeah.
players off the books.
Hmm.
That's also
Yes, yeah.
ultimately a good thing.
But I mean, overall, they've done fairly well. You know what? I can't see what Arsenal are doing. I don't understand the Arsenal one, so I can't put them in as doing well. Gyökeres, yeah, they needed him. They brought him in. They needed a left winger, so as well. They needed another striker, really. They needed two strikers because they've left it so long. They now need two rather than just one. They didn't get another one. They needed a left winger, so they went and bought a right winger in Madueke, even though they've already got 35 of them. They got 100 centre backs, so we went and bought another one in brought in another one in Hincapie and signed another one as well. And though he does look good, that Mosquera who played yesterday, who played against us, I mean, but like they didn't need a centre back, a defender,
And
really.
they didn't need another attacking midfielder in Eze as well, did they?
Yeah, exactly. They didn't really need him. They needed a left winger. It's just, and Supermendy, he can't play the style of play they're looking for. He's absolutely unsuited to the game they play.
At least with Eze, you can see where he can fit in. Like he can be the fourth guy in midfield, the second, like fourth guy in attack. There's a number of games you can rotate in and around. There are a lot of competitions. You want to go deep into the cups as well. Fair enough. Decent signing. Okay, it's this type of player you would bring in to eventually maybe replace Odegaard or push him on if his form dips and all that. That's all right. But how many fucking centre backs does he need?
40.
Yeah.
No, I'm not joking, Rob. Like I think the two Manchester clubs probably have less centre backs on the books than Arsenal alone, and it's not just a random comment. Like probably.
No, I just love the way you said it. It was great.
Like, how many fucking centre backs does he need? Like, why do Arsenal spend another 50+ million on a centre back who can cover at fullback?
Has he just got an obsession with signing defenders or something?
Yeah, he seems to me like the Brendan Rodgers had one with attacking midfielders where he'd just buy hundreds of them, and you're thinking we've already got 10. Why are you buying another one? But he'd just go and buy more. I think some managers do.
Profile as well. It's always the same profile. Someone who has decent returns in attacking set pieces at the current club. That seems to also be a prerequisite. And then someone who can cover in at either right or left fullback. And the worst thing is, if they're buying a fullback, then buy someone who is different from the ones you already have. You have 6 fucking players in position. At least buy someone who's an attacking right back or attacking left back to at least give yourself an option to change things up.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't make any sense, his transfer strategy. I mean, he seems to have just tripled down on Stoke City.
They have zero. Yeah, they have zero for actual legitimate fullbacks. So if Arteta gets sacked, there is a real possibility that the new manager might just need like 4 new fullbacks to even start his team, unless they go out and bring someone who has the same philosophy as the Arteta terrorism bomb.
Yeah, well, they're not going to sack Arteta because they trust the process. Remember, doesn't matter how bad, how clear it is, it's not working.
Apparently, Josh Kroenke has had a meeting and emphasized that cups and trophies are now the next expectations from Arteta, which is the only thing I have to say is why wait till now. Was there a marker set at $1 billion spent?
Surely they've got to get a left winger. They should have got a left winger. That's
Well,
where they were
I
really
mean,
lacking
clearly
from me.
they'll put Eze out there, and that's not really how he plays his best football. Because Palace don't play with wingers. They didn't know under Glasner, and that's when he was at his best, is under Glasner. Before that, he was a very in and out player who didn't really shine anywhere. He was just
And also
yeah.
before that, like before Glasner, he was not playing on the wings. It was Zaha playing on the wings, and then
Yeah,
he was more of a central.
yeah. But under Glasner, he's played still inside with he was just given a lot more freedom under Glasner because they had more, they had the back five and the defensive midfielders, two defensive midfielders, so they didn't need him to. I just don't see where he fits Arsenal setup. I mean, they don't even play. They just play for set pieces anyway. They really are set piece FC these days. They literally just play for corners.
They were really awful against Liverpool, to be honest with you. I thought they were terrible against Liverpool. They showed no passion, no formation, no game plan, bar to defend.
I'm sure we're going to
And that's all
dissect
they've done.
that to bits on the next one.
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow.
But one thing I have to get off my chest is like the drop that overflew the pocket for me on Arsenal is they are losing 1-0 and Timber is still like so ingrained to waste time that Kakpo went and tried to pull him up twice. He's still throwing a fit. Wait, you're losing 1-0. You're not defending a lead. You're chasing the game.
Yeah, that was Jury Timber, wasn't it?
It's becoming very comical at Arsenal. I'm just surprised they didn't go in for Marquez. Come on.
Yeah, but he might have turned them down because he did say he only wanted Liverpool. He has said from the start, so he might turn them down. Isaac did. That's why they went for Gyökeres. Isaac said no, not interested, thanks. So that was where.
What do we think of Chelsea's window? Because it seems like they're continuing that trend of just buying for the sake of buying young kids. I've got two very good friends that I'm part of a group chat with that we talk daily about football, and I always call it child trafficking because there's so many like kids coming through,
and they're buying them for next year as well.
16 to 20, and they're young and
they buy them.
They're just trying to split players.
10 minutes. They're buying next year as well. They bought a few for next year as well in their transfer window. I mean, it's just crazy. And they don't even seem to be buying what they need. It just seems to be a lot of wingers. A lot of wingers.
They buy players in order to sell the good ones they have. That's the worst part if you're Chelsea fan.
Is that since they got the new boss, the new owner in? Is that what he wants to do?
Yeah, they are just two sets. They've got two groups, and it's a split over who wants to do what. This is the issue they've got. Sorry,
and they still didn't replace Robert Sanchez.
Another is Todd Bowley one. The only thing I have to say about Chelsea, because it's all shambles and all this, how can they make transfers among the blue coat clubs, Sporting, Chelsea, Strasbourg? They can send anyone anywhere, like spend any amount. But Man United aren't allowed to sign players from these. Although in theory, ES are only minority owners at United.
Yeah, I don't get how they're allowed to just send players willy-nilly and sign them back and forth between Strasbourg and Chelsea with no restrictions at all, even though it's supposed to not be allowed. This, and then literally just.
Even after Tista sold the shares on Riot.
Yeah, because they sent Chilwell there, aren't they, to Strasbourg?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get rid of him. They just send him to Strasbourg instead.
And Ciso as well.
Yeah.
Before we finish, how do you think Tottenham done in the transfer window? People are saying they had a very good transfer window. I think they've done okay. I wouldn't say it was outstanding, but I thought they'd done okay.
I don't think they've replaced Heung-min Son. Aside from that, it's been fine, but I don't see who gives them the same quality and output from the left side.
Just one quick thing on Chelsea.
Simons?
Just one more quick thing on Chelsea while I think on. How do you spend $2 billion over the last few years and still have a panic attack when a defender gets injured, and say you haven't
And
got
the
enough.
striker gets.
Yeah, and then do the same thing when your striker gets injured. How can you spend that much money and not have cover and be sending players out on loan here, there, and everywhere when you've got no cover for someone to get injured? I mean, they're a mess. They're a joke. They're really badly run. The sporting directors are an absolute shambles. Sorry. Anyway, back onto Tottenham. I don't get it. That Simmons, I don't rate him at all. I don't understand. I don't know what he does. I don't know what he offers. I've watched him many a time, and I always think, what is he? What's he doing? He just doesn't seem to offer anything. He runs very quickly, but he doesn't seem to actually do anything else. Maybe under Frank, with a system, where he's very strict and he'll have him, he has them organised. They have very clear roles that they understand. Maybe he'll do a bit better there and actually offer something. But from what I've seen of him, I just don't understand why anybody wanted him. Anybody. I mean, they fought off Chelsea to get him, and I don't understand what they saw in him either. I mean, he plays in the same position as Palmer most of the time as well. So, he's not going to replace him, is he?
No.
It's a very strange one. Yes, I suppose I just don't see what they bought another, more defenders that are the same as the other ones he already had. Very quick, but can't really defend. Because I mean, people go on about Van der Ven being brilliant, and I just do not see it. He's very fast, but he's got no positional sense. He's just he just runs very fast and gets but he can't actually defend. And that Romero's just an absolute animal. He's going to hurt
How
somebody.
long have we got left, Chris? How
About
long have we got left, mate?
4 minutes. I think 3
About
minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Before
Another one I
5
just
minutes.
wanted to discuss was Aston Villa.
Mm.
I don't think they've done much at all, and they really needed a couple of players for me.
They were so
And I
restricted
don't
by
think their
PSR.
window's been great.
They were
Sorry, Chris, go on.
they were massively restricted by PSR. That's what must be really annoying as a fan, looking at teams like Chelsea just throwing away billions and they can't do much. Go on, sorry, Seamus.
Since we're on about Aston Villa, we should probably start with Emi Martinez. This is a game.
Oh yeah,
Signs a new contract next year.
That's embarrassing.
yeah.
Yeah, but if I'm being honest, that's not how United should be acting. I
No,
know I'm a United supporter. I'm ultimately happy that we signed a keeper who I don't know is good enough or not, instead of someone who I don't think is good enough to take us where I want us to ultimately be. But that's not us. You should be behaving as a club.
So what was the
Yeah.
Garnacho thing on his thing? With what was his
The tears.
Instagram mess? Yeah, the tears. What was that all about? While we're on about Man United's time.
He's a crybaby.
But
That's
yeah,
all it is.
very bizarre.
That was horrendous.
And why did I mean, what did Chelsea see in him? I don't understand it. Another one you just
He's
think,
their best left wing, and I'm not even joking, man.
what
Who
did,
have they got at left wing?
yeah, but that's my point, is how can they still need to, if that's your best you've got when you're spending that amount of money, you've really got to look at your transfer policy again, haven't you? You need to rip it up and start again if that's what you end up with. And yeah, Villa though, I felt they ended up in a real bad situation with PSR, and I think they did all right in the end, getting Harvey Elliott and oh my God, who was the other one?
Sancho, was it?
Sancho.
Sancho.
Yeah, no, I was going to say I was thinking of something. Oh no, I was thinking that if they could keep holding on to Morgan Rogers was what I was going to say. Was the other one? Sorry, that was what I was thinking. I'd forgotten about this. I'd forgotten they'd signed Sancho was the other signing. Oh yeah,
exactly.
that was desperation. That is. But I think they did all right. I think
Absolutely.
Harvey Elliott will do all right for them. I think I'm gutted to see him in a Villa shirt. It doesn't look right, but good luck to the lad. I hope he does well, and I think he will do there. I think he's a better player than most give him credit for. So I think he'll do all right. And it's what they needed. They needed a bit of creativity. They really lack it. I mean, John McGinn's a great workhorse, but he's not a creative linchpin, is he? It just isn't his game. And he's been playing him on the right wing at times, which is madness.
And
yeah,
they've got off to a very bad start as well, haven't they? Very bad start.
yeah. I've seen people saying they're in a relegation fight, and they're not. Let's be honest.
No, not
They'll
yet. No.
they'll cruise away from it. They might not finish in they might not finish in European place, but they're not in a relegation battle.
No.
I think that's about. I think we're running out of time now, so I think we should call it there. While Seamus is
Okay,
gone,
mate.
so we can enjoy an outro
his
without
kite.
him. Yeah, quickly before he comes back.
Flying the kite.
Yeah.
Okay,
High as
boys.
a kite.
I'll give you a look in tomorrow.
Yeah. See you next
Done.
time
Okay,
tomorrow.
bye.
And we'll,
Yeah. Ta-ra, boys. Ta-ra,
Bye-bye.
Rob.
See you,
Ta-ra,
fellas.
Keith.
Have a good night.
See you, Trish.
Oh
Ta-ra.
no, he's back. Damn, we didn't get out quick enough.
Although I may not be able to give you the same goodbye message, the same value emotion as Harvey Elliott, but still, we will be back very soon, probably with another edition of the transfer window. Bye-bye.
And we'll be off now. So we're going to go and watch the previews of Rob's film. Bye bye.